It is another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the 3 films released on April 17th, 2009. And yes, you hear a loud noise in the background. That is the fan, because it's fucking hot thanks to Randy Marsh, son of a bitch. Actually, no, it legitimately is warm outside, and so yeah, it gets very hot in this room. So yeah, I apologize for the fan in the background, but I needed to stay cool during this right now. It's gonna get cooler by tomorrow, though. We hope. But anyway, you're not here to hear me talk about that. Let's talk about the 3 films released this weekend, and 3 really good movies, and 3 very good, surprisingly entertaining films. And we'll start off with the first one we have here, the biggest new release of the weekend, and that's Zac Efron, now no longer in high school doing musicals. He's starring in a body switch comedy, which stars also some notable names in here. This is 17 Again. That moment when you realize that not only is the late Matthew Perry in here, but also Michelle Trachtenberg. Yeah, I completely forgot she was in this movie playing his daughter in this movie. Good lord. I mean, do we have like a 17 Again curse going on here or something? Or maybe it's just a pure coincidence. But anyway, this is 17 Again, and a plot that is very, very similar to many other movies of its kind. The story where you have Matthew Perry, who's a 37-year-old man who becomes his 17-year-old self after a chance accident. The 17-year-old self being Zac Efron, and he's going through all this trouble with his with the soon-to-be ex-wife, played by Leslie Mann, his daughter, played by Michelle Trachtenberg, his son, I think Sterling Knight's him, his best friend's Thomas Lennon. He falls in love with the principal of the school, played by Melora Hardin. Second movie she's been in this month, in the April of 2009. And, yeah, this is a film that's very formulaic and been done to death before so many times. However, it's very interesting with movies like this. We get these type of movies every once in a while. You know, we get a Big, or 13 Going on 30, or, you know, we just had recently Little, which was very similar to this, where you have somebody who is basically turned it from either a boy to a full-grown man, or a man to a boy, a girl to a woman, and so on and so forth. And these have usually been the movies that have featured the big breakout performances that led these people to superstardom. Case in point, of course, Big was Tom Hanks, which the movie that made him the superstar that he was. 13 Going on 30, Jennifer Garner became a movie star at that point. And in this movie, this is the film that really introduced people to Zac Efron post-High School Musical. Everyone was wondering, what was he going to do for his big first movie out of the Disney circuit? Could he make it on his own? And in this case, he made it work. He was very good in the movie, and he showed that, hey, this guy has potential to become a really good actor in the future, and I thought he was great in the movie. The scene in particular where I think it really hit me that this kid was going to be a great star was when he is in the cafeteria with his kids, you know, trying to figure out what's going on with them, and you find out the son is getting bullied, and he goes off on the speech against the bully where he's telling them off, but also doing these athletic skills with the basketball and all that, and just the way this scene is presented is so well done. And I saw that, I thought to myself, okay, he's got it. He's definitely got the chops to be a really good actor in the future. And this movie really is well done in taking a story that's been done to death before so many times, but because there is such a talented cast all across the board here, it just works, man. It just works incredibly well. It's a very engaging film. All the performances are top-notch. The comedy is really good for the most part. It's a movie that really works a lot better than I think people let on. Yes, it's a story that's been done to death before several times, but if you've got good actors and a good hook to really give it its own edge to it, you can really pay it off in a big way here, and I think it does very well in this case here. It really shows what Zac Efron's acting abilities in the future would later hold for him. I think it's a terrific film. It's a very good movie, one I highly recommend checking out. 17 Again, really a good film. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, which is another star-studded movie in general, with Russell Crowe and Ben Affleck leading the charge. It's State of Play. State of Play is based off of a British television series of the same name, and you have the story of a journalist played by Russell Crowe and his probe into the suspicious death of the assistant and mistress of Congressman Stephen Collins, played by Ben Affleck. The cast also includes Rachel McAdams, Helen Mirren, Jason Bateman, Robin Wright, and Jeff Daniels. And it's a movie that was heavily influenced by the films of the 1970s. And from what I've seen from it, it's kind of an equivalent. It's kind of like a mix between All the President's Men and also kind of a more dramatic version of The Paper, that underrated Ron Howard comedy from 1994. And it helps that you have a really good group of actors and a good director who also did The Last King of Scotland, and a good writing team that includes Matthew Michael Carnahan, Tony Gilroy, Billy Ray, and the cast that includes it here. The cast really sells the film in general, and it's a great, great thriller. It's a film that really does keep you guessing all across the board, even though the twists are kind of predictable overall and how it eventually comes to an end. You don't really care because you're so invested in what's going on. You're so invested in, okay, how's everybody going to get out of this? And it works really well. I think it's a very well done film. It's a film that did pretty well when it came out, but has largely been forgotten since then. I think this was kind of the beginning of the continuing beginning of the Ben Affleck renaissance, because we saw that with Hollywoodland a few years prior, and then the year after that was Gone Baby Gone, his directorial debut. And so now we have State of Play, and then he's going to follow it up the next year with not Argo, that's later on down the road, The Town, which would be the big movie that would welcome him back to relevancy again. And he's great in the movie. Everybody in here does a really good job with the performances in here. This is a really good film. Definitely one you want to check out. State of Play. Really good political thriller. Really great performances all around. A terrific, terrific film. With that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the last one we have here, and that is the sequel to Crank, Crank High Voltage. Yeah, it's a sequel that's pretty much the same thing, except bigger budgets, bigger explosions, bigger, you name it. Everything's bigger in this movie, but still pretty damn fun overall. This film continues from the events of the end of Crank, where Jeff Chelios was supposed to die in that movie, but because the first film was a success, they made the sequel, and he survives the deadly fall and gets kidnapped by Chinese doctors who harvest his heart and replace it with an artificial one, which is designated to keep him alive for an hour. Jeff sets out to find his heart while keeping himself electrically charged to stay alive. And yes, that includes sticking things that will cause electrical sparks on his tongue and his nipples, and just, like, if you can't get involved in that alone, then this really isn't the movie for you. This movie is hilariously over-the-top fun. I mean, yeah, it's the same movie as the last film, but it's still really fucking awesome, man. Jason Statham is really good in the movie, and I just love how this film is just gonzo nuts. Just let's go crazy. We have to improve. We have to go crazier than we did the last time around. Like in the first movie, Jason Statham's character had sex with Amy Smart is in front of. It was not in public overall, but no, we gotta take it to the next level. We gotta take it to a horse race where, you know, we've got to go ahead and have sex in the middle of this big audience, and it's just like, why is he doing this? We don't know, but it's fun to watch. I mean, it really is a fun to watch movie. It's a film that is so over the top, so ridiculous, and yes, it's a knockoff. It's the same movie all over again. And I've said before, most of these sequels don't usually pan out that well, but this film knows exactly what it's doing, and it knows that we're just gonna have the time of our lives doing stupid stuff, and hopefully you'll get enjoyment out of it. And this movie works because of it. It's a silly, over-the-top, ridiculous, action-packed gonzo fest, and I loved every minute of it. I think it's a very good movie. I think it's as good as the original film. It's fun. It's the same movie as the last film, but it's still fun all across the board. Crank High Voltage. If you didn't like the first one, then chances are you're not going to get invested in this one. But I love the first one, and I definitely love the second one a lot. Crank 2 High Voltage. Highly recommended. And so, with that said, we're going to wrap up this edition of Time About the Movies. And the next time we meet, we've got 4 more movies to look at, including Beyonce Knowles, Idris Elba, and Ali Larter, starring in the 21st century version of Fatal Attraction, Obsessed, which is nowhere near as good, but that we'll save for another time. We'll also take a look at Channing Tatum and Terrence Howard starring in Fighting, easily one of the more underrated movies of this weekend. Jamie Foxx and Robert Downey Jr. in The Soloist, and the first film released by Disney Nature, Earth, which is the series of documentaries they did. But we'll take a look at all 4 of those movies coming up tomorrow on the show, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and hit that playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, notification button, and the bell, because you get updates on when the videos come out, and we do post new videos here every day. So with all that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.